Hello everyone, I'm Debbie Giordano. Welcome to Valley Homes on TV. You're watching us on Channel 26. We air on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. I got that right again, didn't I, Todd?
You're doing well, Debbie.
Hi, Todd. How are you?
Doing great.
Did you have a good week?
Fabulous week. Fabulous week. And we've got a great show today as well. We're talking termites today.
Yay!
Yeah. So that's a big part of the home inspection process.
Part of my business.
Absolutely.
And yours too.
Yes. It impacts any real estate transaction in this area. You know, the termite inspection, taking a look at what's happening within that house. And so we thought it'd be great to
introduce our expert.
Yeah, Larry Bragg is with us today. Larry is a local termite expert. He actually lives here in Milpitas as well as does work in this area. So we're going to talk a little bit about what you're looking for in a termite clearance, a termite report. What are some things you can do to protect your home? Those types of things with Larry.
Okay, great.
So we'll jump right in here and start talking about termite reports. And
all right.
So what's the purpose really when the phone rings and Debbie calls you and says, "Hey, Larry, we need you to come out and do a termite inspection on a home." What's that about? What goes into that?
Well, a lot of times the banks require termite clearance for a property in order for them to fund a loan for a house. So what Debbie normally does when she calls me out, I'm going to go out and look for any structural pest that could destroy the home. And that's everything from carpenter ants, carpenter bees, beetles, termites, and fungus damage as well. So the purpose is just to make sure that new buyer, when they get the home, is structurally safe and that all those pests are gone.
Good. So now what sort of things go into that report? What sort of things, what areas of the home are you looking at? What goes into that inspection?
We're going to look at the exterior, the interior, the attics, the sub area if you have it, the garage. So pretty much everywhere that we can physically get to in the house that I'm going to look to. I'm going to look at the outside to make sure that if it's a wood siding house, that the wood siding hasn't been damaged by water damage coming from sprinklers or rain. I'm going to look at the roof framing to make sure that the termites haven't gotten into the roof framing. I'm also going to look down to the foundational wall to make sure there's not mud tubes or access for termites to get into there.
You actually crawl the sub area.
Yes, we actually crawl the sub area, which is for me pretty funny. I go to people's house. I don't know if you can see I'm sitting down, but I'm 6'4", and a lot of customers have a lot of fun with that. You're never going to get in that but I get in there pretty good.
I know one of the areas of concern, not just the pests and the termites only, but the dry rot, like bathrooms areas, or you might see that from underneath when you crawl.
Right. We're going to look for there mostly leaks. So the plumbing, we're going to make sure that the leaks aren't causing fungus damage to the subflooring. We're also going to make sure shower leaks, toilet leaks, that a lot of times the homeowners won't see. Because you don't crawl into your house. You know, some people do, but most people, you're never going to crawl into the house.
Right.
So you're never going to get that picture until you get an inspection.
So Todd, it seems like there's a lot more than just the termites that go into the reporting.
Yeah, absolutely. There's much more than that. I mean, that's the common name that we give it, is the termite report, but you're looking for...
But I think it's misguided in that respect.
Right. And so as you're doing, is it just a physical inspection, or are you poking and prodding things? And
the inspection, again, is in 3 phases. So the first phase is, yes, we're going to sound the wood. The poking and prodding is actually called sounding the wood.
Okay.
And what I'm looking for is 2 things. When I actually take the prober and hit the wood, I'm listening for the sound to make sure it sounds like it's still structurally good. Wood that's been eaten by termites will have the appearance that it's fine, but on the inside it'll be hollow. So sometimes the wood, if the termites have just started, it's going to sound pretty hollow, which gives it a different sound. If it's really bad, the wood's just going to break. When I hit it, it's just going to break, which is damage and which will need to be repaired. The second phase is going to be on the interior of the home. The interior of the home, I'm going to come with the flashlight. I'm going to look in all the corners. I'm going to look on the ceiling where the ceiling and wall come together, because a lot of times they like to bore out holes there. They're little tiny holes, so the homeowner can be in the house every day and pass by and never see it. But that's why we see it.
you know what you're looking for.
We know what we're looking for. So I'm going to look there. When we go into the bathrooms, I have a device which is called a moisture meter, which is able to tell me if there's moisture underneath the floor that we won't see. So I'm going to put that on the floor, see what that says, and then the third phase is actually crawling underneath the house and checking underneath the house.
Oh, good. Well, how long does all this take you to do an inspection?
The typical inspection takes between an hour and a half to 2.5 hours.
Okay. And then as a result of that, you come up with then what, a written report?
Yes, I'm going to come up with a written report, and there's 2 types of inspections that you can do. You can do what's called a Section 1, Section 2 report, which is going to be for realtors or when you're buying and selling a home. Or you can do basically an inspection for a homeowner, which is almost the same type of inspection, but it's not required by the bank that the homeowner gets the work done.
Okay.
So when you do it as a proactive inspection for a homeowner, which is mainly what Clark does, what my company is going to do, you're going to sit down, you're going to go over the home with the homeowner, everything that there was and everything that we found.
So the first type is more inclusive.
Right. Well, it's pretty much the same inspection. The wording in the report's a little different because in the report for Section 1, Section 2, it has to say what is a Section 1, what is a Section 2.
And I know through my experience, the lenders usually require that you clear Section 1
Correct.
and not, and I understand Section 2 are not really damaged or
Right.
termite infested, but could lead to future
Right.
infestation if the
Right.
homeowner doesn't correct those issues.
That's correct. So Section 1, Section 2, really the difference is Section 1 is it's already damaged.
Yeah.
Section 2 are going to be things that could lead to, but not yet damaged.
So more preventative sort of things that
More
you'd
preventative,
be recommending that someone take care of these items and
Right.
issues in their home so they don't have future damage.
Right. An example would be caulking in a shower. The shower is not damaged, but the caulking is wearing out, which could damage the wall. So that's going to fall under Section 2. The report would just say you need to caulk the wall.
Well, let me ask you, is your industry regulated by state law?
The industry is regulated by state law. We are regulated by an agency called the Structural Pest Control Board. And every report that's ever done has to go to the Structural Pest Control.
Oh,
Every report,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, every report that's ever done has to go there. Now, the homeowner can call, or the realtor can call and request a copy of that report from the Structural Pest Control Board. Normally, you're not going to have to do that. You can just call the inspector or the agency in which did the inspection. They can do so.
And I understand that you've put a tag, an inspection tag, in the sub area or somewhere
Right.
in the garage to disclose to someone that
That we were there. When you're there, the inspection tag has to say what day you were there. And also, most inspection tags will have a spot at the bottom where you can put if you use any chemicals or any treatment that's done, you put that there and what date you used the chemical and what it was. And so that basically tells anybody that's there what was done and when was it done. It also helps for future inspections so that when the termite inspector comes out, he can see when the last time anything was done.
Okay.
Looks like you've done your inspection, you've found some areas of concern. How are you going to treat potential termite infestations or other dry rot, some of those items? What is it that you do to take care of those items?
It depends on the severity of the infestation. It also depends on which type of termite it is. There are 2 different types of termites. There are drywood termites and there are subterranean termites, most common in this area. You can also have dampwood termites and beetles and things of that nature. But in the Bay Area, the most common that you're going to see are going to be the drywood and subterranean. If it's subterranean termites, you have to do what's called a soil treatment for those. And that's going to go around the entire perimeter of the house, inside the interior of the garage, and also underneath the sub area. For drywood termites, again, it's going to depend on the severity of the infestation. If we feel when we do the inspection that I can pinpoint exactly where the drywood termites are, they're in one piece of wood, one area, we can do what's called a local treatment. In a local treatment, you can use various amount of chemicals or different chemicals to treat that, or termiticides. If the infestation of drywood termites is broader, it's in 4 or 5, 6 areas of the house, they're, the roofing, they're inside and the sub area, the best way is going to be to fumigate the house.
That's an interesting topic. It sounds like it's very subjective, and it could randomly change from inspector to inspector, company to company, on how deep the infestation is grown in the home, whether it can be treated locally or not.
Yes.
I understand on your report you give the 2 treatments.
Right. We will give a choice of both. Now, normally if we feel, or if I come out and feel, or Clark inspectors, we come out and feel that the house, there's just no way you can locally treat it, we won't